Hey everyone, welcome to The Flip Side with your hosts Chris and Sean.
We're a podcast rambling about the interesting questions in the world of movement. All right, guys, today we are talking about why tricking is better than math class and why we should completely eradicate high-level math and just make students learn tricking instead.
I mean, I also think that, just higher level education in general, you can just do tricking instead. That's fine.
But so you agree with me, so that's what we're going to be doing.
Oh yeah.
Why do you think that tricking is better than math? Like what does high level math have to offer, right?
Well, I mean, it depends on the job you're going into. If you're doing calculus, unless you're doing engineering, I don't really think it's gonna matter that much. And I love my math. I like using statistics in a lot of things. I like using geometry and angles, but if you have a basic understanding of it, you could do tricking. If you understand some basic English, you can just focus on tricking, and then you'll still understand English. You're fine. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, let's be honest. The only thing I learned in high level math was, when you take a pencil and you throw it and it bounces off the eraser and it goes really high, and you learn the angle of how to block. That's the most important thing I learned in high level math.
That's all you need. Or it's like my class.
I think like regular algebra is good. Like, you got to find X and all that stuff. And then you do geometry and you have to learn, it's like really logical problem solving and figuring out like, that's just basic math in complicated situations. So I think those are really good. But, we've got like things like calculators and stuff. It's like, okay, that's like a good tool. Okay, fine. Maybe math teaches you how to use this tool. You get the mental perseverance from math. That's fine. You get, but then you get like the outside recognition from, your math teacher, from your parents. You're like, oh, you did good job, you got an A, like, all these things. But then in tricking, it teaches you so much more. It's like you get that personal recognition. It's like, okay, Shosei can, do trip and whatever, like he can do all these crazy skills. Okay, so when you do dub, it's like, you did dub, but you're personally like, oh my gosh. Yeah, you don't need the recognition from everyone else, right? So then there's that side of it. And then it's like, okay, so what are you going to use more? This calculator that has, like sine and cosine and all these things on it, or are you going to use your phone? Okay, so now you're at the session, you're videotaping yourself doing tricks and you're using your phone. You're learning how to use editors. You're learning how to, transfer files. You're learning how to trim things and like how to make good looking, transitions and colors. Editing effects, everything like that. And then you put it on YouTube. So now you have your own platform. You created your own website and you're branding yourself and you're promoting yourself, which is what you have to do to get jobs. I mean, these are things that are like actually way more valid than math. And like, do you know what else is a better tool that you have in tricking? Your body.
I know, like, who gives a crap about PE if I'm having to learn to shoot a damn basketball or throw something? I don't give a shit. I want to learn to flip, and I want to learn how to control my body in space.
It's way more. But like, that's the thing is like you definitely want to teach little kids. First of all, even if we're like, forget about the math for just a second. Like, if you teach a little kid how to do tricking, like from a young age, and then he gets, he's got 3 years of experience at 6 years old. Or maybe he's got 3 years of experience at 9 years old even. And then he's like, I don't like tricking. I'm going to do another sport. That kid is going to wreck face in every single sport.
Well, he's going to, like they say, top 10 sports to do before anything else. Gymnastics. Just going to point it out. It's fine. Everybody recommends.
Yeah, I mean, but it's like you like I said before, you have the mental perseverance in math to like figure out these problems, but you're not motivated, which means that you have way more mental perseverance in tricking. And then you also have the physical perseverance. It's like when you're working, it's like that takes not just a mental strain on you, it also takes physical strain on you. And it's like when you're doing math, it's like purely just like a thought process, and it's only for like that little bit of time of the day. And it's like, but the tricking, you don't think about, when you're doing math, you don't have to think about math all day long.
No.
But to get to where I got in tricking, I've had to think about it all day to figure out the transitions and the different points and figure out the blocking techniques and everything. everything. And then on top of that, what you learn in tricking is so applicable to everything. It's like, like the life lessons that you learn. Like, did you learn any life lessons from doing gymnastics from a young age?
Oh yeah,
Gave you like a good base.
Perseverance, determination, hard work, goal setting. Learned all that.
Goal setting.
I did school.
Goal setting is a really, really good one. And then, I mean, on top of that too, it's like, okay, so like in math, it's like, what's my goal? To get this over with.
Tell me the equation of this slope, and you have 2 bits of information. You have this point and this point. Now tell me how you got there.
Right, and that's the other thing that annoys the crap out of me too. Is like with math, it's like, okay, this is how you do it. This is how you get here. And then in tricking, it's like, okay, this is how you block and this is how you get here. But now there's also that creativity side of it too. It's like, so now you know the basics of it. How do you want to put it together? How do you want to edit it? What kind of combos do you want to build? What do you want to excel at? And in math, it's just like, this is the equation, It's like, okay, I want to get good at geometry over algebra. Okay. Like, I don't know. Like, when do you get to flex? I don't know.
Right? Like, that's the thing. That's why I think just once you get some general education, it doesn't really matter. Just start doing stuff you like doing and go with it. Tricking, great. Gymnastics, better. Because then you just learn your life lessons and you learn your life skills. Then you just need to learn how to do taxes. You need to learn how to do some general adulting things, and you're fine. Doesn't matter.
But math has nothing to do with taxes beyond basic math. Versus tricking, if you learn how to trick, you can learn how to do taxes. That's the thing. It's like, if you learn how to do tricking, you can learn how to do anything. Versus if you learn math, then you're book smart. You're not logical and creative, and you're not like, you can't figure things out the way that other people, like the trickers, can figure things out. And then but I think something that the trickers have to learn how to do also is take those skills that they learn and actually start applying them to the world. I think that they have a really good understanding, but I think a lot of them are just so motivated by tricking that they're not motivated by anything else. But there are the few people though that who are motivated outside of tricking, who learned motivation and skills from tricking that make a big impact. Like Sam Kojo, like he's doing his thing. I guess McGuire is also doing his thing. He's got the Adrenaline Worldwide. He comes from martial arts, but same kind of foundationary things. And then we've got Andrew Court, who did a big gathering. And like, I guess anyone who does gatherings, I mean, those are like business. You're just starting a business, and it's like, who can just start a business like off of something that isn't barely even a sport, know? So insane. I don't think they necessarily learned how to do that, from taking a class or anything. Maybe some did, but it's like, they learned how to do it from learning how to do stuff. They learned how to learn, and now they learn how to do everything because they figured it out.
Well, yeah, because I mean, doing gymnastics, doing tricking, you can't be afraid of failure. You're afraid of failure, you're fucked. You gotta get screwed.
Oh, that's a good one, because math, you're so scared of failing. You're like, I gotta do it right, and then you have to take all these. Oh my! See, math is screwing us up. It's turning us into bad people.
Oh yeah, that's math's fault.
It's all math's fault, I think. What are some other subjects in school that you think tricking is better? I mean, besides all of them, like
besides all.
Is there one that's like worse? You'd be like, okay, this one should like math. I feel like people think it's so good, which is why I wanted to attack it, because I don't think it's good. Like the high level math, I think, is really like pointless. I just hate it. And everyone in the class is like, when are we gonna use this? The teacher is like, you're not, but I have to teach it.
When am I gonna use chemistry?
Yeah,
like some basic stuff, like for cleaning solutions. Like, yeah, I could use that a little bit if I need to get a stain out of a carpet or some blood out of my shirt when I rip my hands off. When I rip my skin off when I'm swinging on bars or doing something. But beyond that, don't think it really matters most of the time. Unless you really need to know something, and then you have your phone.
That's the other thing, is like, people talk about how like you do school, then you go to college, and then you go to work, and then you're X years old after college, and you're like, geez, I'm like in my 20s, late 20s, and I haven't like ever had like a job based on my career path, and you don't know how to work in the real world,
Tricky.
you're so used to doing book smart stuff. But yeah, you're right. You're like, you do tricking, you ripped your hands. Now you have to fix them. You got to let them heal. You got to take like mental notes on how not to do it next time, or maybe be prepared and bring your things next time. And like, you have to plan ahead for your sessions. You have to rehab afterwards. Like, you have to be responsible for your body and able to continue to do it. And you have to have goal setting and these plans, and like, you have to attack these problems, not the same ones. Like in math, it's like all these problems look different, the solution is always the same. And
Yep.
It's like tricking is like all these problems are different and the solution is usually always different. But also kind of like what we talked about last episode is like, it's not spreading yourself thin, because the solutions, you learn way more solutions in tricking than you do in math, which means that all these solutions that you learned in tricking can now be applied. Versus in math, it's like you learn these solutions and they're not necessarily relevant. It just teaches you how to learn, and it teaches you, how to apply what you learned, but not necessarily the correct things to learn, right?
That's the other thing, though. It teaches you responsibility with tricking and gymnastics, because, I ripped my hands. I forgot my tape. Oh, that's going to suck. All right.
Exactly.
Oh, I forgot my hype music. Boring session. All right, I get to listen to classical music at the radio. Like, that's fantastic. Oh, I'm going to remember that next time. Oh, I forgot my grips. Ooh. Yeah, about that. That sucks. Oh, I forgot my shorts this time. My lucky shorts. Ooh.
I know, dude. Lucky shorts is a real thing. I don't need my lucky shorts for math. What do I need? I just need
wear for tests.
Did you do that?
No, I'm not that weird. Maybe kind of weird and kind of crazy, but I'm not that weird.
But see, because when it comes to tricking, there's like a little bit of luck involved too. With math, there's no luck involved. But in the real world, luck is involved, and you have to be prepared for that kind of stuff.
You always gotta
be prepared for everything.
Falling on your head, turn. Falling on your feet, great. Falling on your stomach, don't break your back. Good luck.
True. And like, what if you just do math all day and you just get fat and lazy and you can't do anything except use your brain? And then you do tricking and you get smart and fit, and now you can do anything in the world. Now everything is yours.
Oof. Calling people out.
I just call it as I see it, man. You do that to yourself. I have very little sympathy.
Nah, I get it. I agree, because it's usually your choice of what you're doing. So I mean,
I know. Yeah. Someone told me the other day, they're like, like, hey, you should be like a little nicer to people who like, I just want to say that I'm not mean to people who are overweight. I don't have an issue with people who are overweight. I have an issue with people who are overweight and unhealthy and complain about it. Those are the people that annoy me. But anyway, so he was saying like, hey, yeah, like I don't know how it came up in the first place, but basically just like, hey, you got to be like nicer to these people, and they can't always control it, whatever. Like, and I was like explaining to him how it just annoys me when they complain about it. And I'm like, and they're like, you're just lucky that you have a sport that you enjoy that makes you do what you do so you can stay healthy. And I was like, excuse me? Like,
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I'm lucky that I enjoy. You don't think that there's discipline that goes into this? You don't think that there is like you think it's easy because I enjoy it? I mean, no.
I fucking hate gymnastics. Oh my god, when you're having a bad day and you're just falling all over yourself, everything just hurts and you're just sore as shit, and you just don't want to do it because you're just not mentally there, and you're still there practicing anyway to get better. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I gymnastics that day. No, the fuck I didn't.
Right? And it's like, oh yeah, but like, what about the people who are like our bodybuilders? Like, you think they enjoy the pain they're going through to build their muscles? Like, no, they enjoy the results. I also enjoy the results. That doesn't make it easier. It gives me a drive and a reason to push through, but that doesn't mean like what are you telling me that like what they just need something that's easy for them to get out of the situation they're in? No. It's like maybe they should make themselves enjoy working out. Like I make myself enjoy working out. Like maybe that end result just isn't enough for them, which is why they're in the situation that they're in, you know? So
Take baby steps. That's what
right.
tricking teaches you. That's what gymnastics teaches you. Take the baby steps. Don't
Exactly.
just the end goal. There's little steps in between that you have to take. You take them, you get better. You don't.
And then people overcomplicate it and try to this is math again. They're like, let me count my calories, let me count my macros and my micro, like all this crap. And it's like, what are you doing? Just work out and eat healthy. Like, why are you like they think, we're teaching people that math is the solution? Tricking in gymnastics, acrobatics. That's the solution.
It teaches you everything you need to know once you have a basic understanding of education. You learn prefixes, you learn suffixes, you learn how to speak English decently with some good grammar, and you can kind of spell. Fantastic. You learn some angles and you learn how speed works. Awesome. After that, you just don't be a dick. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing I think that is really cool that I learned in tricking is that you have to take turns, like everyone's in their circle around the floor and you have to take turns and you have to watch people's, like body language and be ready. Like, oh, this guy's going to go. I can see it. Or like, oh, this guy's going to go, but I was first. Oh, but he's not paying attention to me. I'll let him go because otherwise we're going to crash. Like, I don't need to be such like a controlling like freak. Like I'll let him go. Like some people are like that where they're like, I was ready to go first. He didn't notice. I'm going to go anyway. It's going to mess up both our combos, but fine. I'm like, dude, no. Like you just need to just let him go so you can both have a positive like, progression during like on both your combos, instead of like crashing each other and wasting your turn. So it's like you got to learn, compatibility, and you got to learn like collaboration and communication so you can learn from each other. Maybe someone's better at a skill than you and you're learning about it. It's like so much stuff where it's like in math, it's like you're just sitting there and someone's telling you what to do. And in tricking, you're figuring it out yourself.
Yep.
It's just better.
I know. So, I mean, that's all you need. You just need basic math, some basic English, maybe a little bit of chemistry to learn how to get blood out of your clothes when you're bleeding everywhere. You need to learn a little bit of just government and history.
Is that what they teach you in chemistry?
No, it's not, but they should.
They should teach you some relevant chemistry.
Yeah, relevant chemistry. Learn a little bit of history so you don't make mistakes of our forefathers a little bit, and then learn some nutrition.
If you mix this and you mix this, this happens. When am I ever going to see those two chemicals? Let's be honest.
It's like, funny. You want a further understanding? Have at it. But I don't need it. I don't want it. I don't care about it. I just need to learn basic life skills, and then I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you really enjoy it, and that's cool. And maybe you're putting it into your career path. That's cool. But I just think that there's like, I get it. Also, like you gotta like let everybody try everything. So that everyone can figure out what it is they want to do.
Yeah.
But they forgot to put tricking in there because I didn't get to try that. And I really wish I would have been able to start it earlier, right?
That's why everybody should try tricking in gymnastics when they're young. See if you have an aptitude for it. If you don't, that sucks. Just keep working at it anyway. It'll teach you life. It'll teach you not to give up. Boom.
And if you do try it, like I said, you're going to destroy the competition at everything. I feel like if I was tricking during like middle school and like tricking at the level I'm tricking at and have the experience I have now when I was in high school, I feel like I would have done way better. I would have been way motivated. I would have been way like more driven and like logical about everything and had like an understanding. My memorization would have been better. Because you got to memorize your combos before you go. You got to memorize the skill names. You got like really simple stuff, but it's like you're constantly around it, so you easily remember. So you're like, oh, that's why flashcards work because I'm constantly around it and I'm constantly remembering it. You're
constantly working one of the most important organs in your body, your brain. Boom.
Exactly.
Wrinkles,
and then
smooth brain. You want wrinkly brain. Get wrinkly brain by doing tricking and gymnastics. Boom. Figure it out.
No smooth brains.
No! Smooth brain, bad brain. Smooth brain can't think. Smooth brain don't do tricking and gymnastics. If you do that, might hurt.
Oh, that's good stuff.
You need to add it. You just need to learn a little bit of nutrition so you can stay a little bit healthier, learn how that all kind of works, learn how your muscles work and your joints work, and then just do tricking and gymnastics. And then it just leads into other sports anyway, because if you're good at tricking, good at gymnastics, you got to be really physically fit anyway. You kind of have to be, so you don't die, don't hurt yourself.
And like in math, right? It's like you're trying to be the best in the class, or you're trying to get 100%. You're trying to like do the best that's possible and like be the best, and then you can get like scholarships, and then you can go to the school, and then you want to be picked for the career, like maybe multiple people applying, like how can I be that person? But in tricking, it's so much more about like, what am I capable of? I'm going to push myself the hardest. So then it's like you're actually, because not everyone can be number one, but you can be, that's like a hard realization I had to make myself realize, is like, all right, I don't think I can beat Jose. I'm going to keep pushing as hard as I can, but I'm okay with that. If someone was picking a tricking team, they're going to pick Jose over me. Fine. Okay. But in math, it's like, you can't be that person who didn't do the best. Like most of the time, it's not okay to be second best. That's, you're hard on yourself about that. But in tricking, it's you can still learn the life skills. You can still learn everything that you need to learn from tricking, and you can still enjoy it. And that's the other thing is like life's all about having fun. In the end, like it's like how much did you actually enjoy your life? And it's like in math, it's like, yeah, I don't enjoy it.
The same dopamine levels when I'm doing that. I think it's dopamine. Yeah, it's dopamine. Sure, we'll go with that.
I think
to make me happier doing gymnastics and tricking than it does doing general school. Like, granted, if that's what you love, fantastic. But it's not for me, man. It's not for me, fam. I'm okay with doing just tricking and gymnastics.
Yeah, you gotta have that. You gotta have that section of fun, and I feel it's like we talked about before we started out. Like PE. Like, what if tricking was just in PE? And I don't think that would be. I don't think that would be enough. Because they have like a gymnastics thing in there, and it's like mostly the gymnastics thing.
So basic, you have to teach people forward rolls and backward rolls. No, that's stupid.
Dude, and they had like a checklist, and they're like, okay, check everything off this checklist that you can, and then at the end of the section, then turn it in. And I was like, okay, so like you check everything off and you turn it in, and then you just screw around the rest of the time, or you don't check anything off. And then you turn it in like basically blank because you don't know how to do it. And it's like, he didn't teach us how to do anything. It was literally just, what do you already know? And like, that's the thing that tricking needs to be, is like, you have to be like, you have to teach the tricking, and you have to like be in it and like learn it. Like that little small section of time to like do the acrobatic skills is not enough. Like it can't be a section of the curriculum. It has to be a class.
I know. Oh my God, it'd be so great. Because even though, yeah, you don't learn teamwork and you don't learn all that kind of stuff, even though
But you don't in any of the other classes either.
No,
Teamwork is only in PE, but it's like that. I think that's the only reason that I have to defend why gym class should be like, dodgeball and football and volleyball and those type of things. I actually really like a lot of those sports. I enjoy them. But that's because I trick and I can kick butt at them. Let's be honest.
That's why they should just make tricking or doing gymnastics a bigger. Although, granted, if you're like 16 and you can't forward roll, I mean, that's a struggle. I'm sorry. I feel bad. I don't know how
it exists. But do you know what I just thought of that is actually crazy? Is like, why? So if I get it, maybe tricking shouldn't be mandatory, but why isn't martial arts not mandatory? Like some sort of like, why doesn't every kid from a young age learn like self-defense techniques?
That's true.
That's true.
What a good point. Maybe they should incorporate that too.
Because then at the young age, you can start doing martial arts. And then you get to a certain point and they're like, okay, you're ready to start tricking. And then you start tricking. And then you can decide if you want to keep doing that or not. But it's like, people are probably thinking like, oh, tricking is so like, that's so not me. It's like, okay, but like, what if you get attacked? Then you need to know basic, self-defense,
What if I
So,
just came out and started trying to kick your ass? You better learn how
right.
to defend yourself.
And I'm not saying tricking is self-defense. I'm saying
Right.
self-defense evolves into tricking. So, for just to clarify that. And so, like, but then they're also related. So it will evolve if you decide to. So maybe that's how we should do it. But we also don't need kindergartners poking their teacher's eyes out as a self-defense technique when they try to like walk them to the bathroom or something.
I've definitely been kicked in the face many a time by a gymnast. It's never fun, let me tell you. Thumb's dislocated. Yeah, it's not fun.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah, no, I was spotting this girl she was supposed to do round off back handspring back tuck or a round off back tuck, and at the last second, without telling me, while she was tumbling, she decided to do a back handspring instead of the back tuck portion. And I went to spot her for the back tuck, and my thumb went straight into her skull in the back of her head, and it dislocated my thumb, and I didn't know it was dislocated for about like a month. And then I was spotting someone else, and it popped back into place. I was like, oh, I can move my thumb again. That's what was wrong.
That's so bad. Oh my gosh. Was her skull okay?
Yeah, she was perfectly fine. She has a hard head.
She's not a smooth brain.
No,
because she does gymnastics.
A big brain. Big wrinkly brain. I mean, that's the thing, though. You got to learn how to deal with pain in gymnastics and tricking. You don't deal with pain in school. Well, mental pain, but mental pain's different. Well, you also deal with that tricking in gymnastics anyway, because you got to tell yourself, I'm not a failure. I fell, but I'm not a failure.
You need that mental drive that gives you positive results, whether you're progressing or not. And, not like I feel like the mental drive that math gives you is so like depressive, It's like, wow, I made it through. You're like, I want to die anyway. Like, it's not like, yes, I did it. Like, let's go, It's just like, thank God that's over.
Man, I'm done with that class. All right, what's the next one? Like, that's just depressing, man. I wouldn't want to play. God,
like, think about if people did that.
Cork, I want to do double cork. Oh, I did double cork. I want to do triple cork, man. I did that. I want to do snatch cannon. Go.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, finally, I'm done with cheat 9. Let me now, I guess, do cork. Like, because I have to, like, it's not like that, and it's because you want to, and that's what makes you have true mental drive, and then you have something to like pull on, to like give you the steam that you need to do things like maybe like math. The biggest thing is like that positivity, right? Like that I mentioned before. You got to have something in your day that gives you the motivation to get to the end of the day. Because at the end of your life, it's like, did you enjoy it? And you just don't enjoy math. You just don't.
No.
I don't know anyone who actually enjoys math. Like, I get it. Like, maybe you enjoy your salary because of math. You're like, okay, now we're being honest. But
I enjoyed math to a certain degree, just not super high level calculus.
Oh yeah. I actually enjoyed geometry. That is actually fun because for me, I could see the uses in it. Like, I really like to build things, like I like to work with wood, and my dad and I have done extensions on the house together, like just him and I. So like I built things from scratch, and the geometry is like very applicable. So then it becomes like, oh, I want to pay attention and learn this because I can see how it's relevant, Yeah. So yeah, but like then there's the other things like the calculus where it's like, what? This is not. I don't understand how this is relevant at all. Like, it's just so hard to learn something that you're not interested in.
0 was infinite. I don't need to know that. I don't care that 0 is infinite on left to the right of the graph. Like, I really could give less of a shit. Actually, I probably couldn't. Like, no. Like, why would I need to know that if it's not going to apply anywhere except for if I'm doing engineering, mostly? Like,
yeah, I mean, there are some graphs. I do, but that's still basic math. Is like when you see the graphs, like bar graphs and the pie graphs and everything, and it just separates things nicely, and like you see that. It's so basic. It's like that's how the world runs. Like there are like they can't run the world based on like calculus equations and high level math because there's a lot of idiots in the world and no one would be able to keep up. So why do we need people who excel so high at it and then not apply it? Like either we all need to catch up or we all need to focus our like on a different area, you know? Yeah,
Everybody has different strengths. You just got to learn what it is.
that's true. That's true. I mean, someone's got to build the rocket and go to Mars. I mean,
Yeah. That's why Elon Musk keeps trying. And I heard the last one exploded. So that
oof,
doesn't end well.
no. Well, he'll keep doing that and I will keep doing tricks. And then maybe I'll just be able to jump to Mars.
Oh, yeah. I'll just
Because
defy all gravity and physics and just jump to Mars.
dude,
God.
my master scoot though, most of the places I train have a roof on them. That's
So now
why
you really get a lot of force.
I
Now
need
you've
that
gotta
outside
actually-
spring floor. Outside spring floor on a roof. Now we're talking height. Plus, I'm already in Colorado. You already know I'm like thousands of feet above sea level already. You know,
And then you're just gonna learn to go at almost light speed, so you can get there without losing all of. Actually, no, you would die. What about the oxygen? Oxygen, Chris.
it'd be
You
I
need
can
to
hold
be
my
able to
I can
breathe.
hold my breath for the amount of time that it's going to take me to get from the ground to Mars. I guarantee it. I'm gonna be so fast.
Oh yeah, just I'm gonna defy all laws of physics. Physics does not apply to trickers. No.
I mean, actually, I did a physics project that I did tricks for my physics project and explained angles and explained speed and velocity and everything that goes into it and why it was relevant and pretty cool.
That's why my old physics teacher back from when I was in high school, he came to one of our meets and he recorded a bunch of gymnastics, and hopefully he's still at the school, but to my knowledge, he was going to use that stuff for explaining physics, because gymnastics and tricking is like super hard when you're looking at it from a physics standpoint. Like, it's insane. Like, everything has to be so well timed. It's crazy.
Especially the high level skills, right? That's kind of what we talked about before too. In one of the last episodes was about how it's like you get cork. Okay, the things that need to go in the cork are these. All right, next, double cork. The things that need to go into there are these. Okay, now triple cork. What are the things that need to go into it? Everything. It needs to literally be perfect. Everything needs to be lined up exactly the right way. Yep. Maybe like tiny flaws can occur, but it's like the amount of room for failure. Yeah, like the amount that you can wiggle out of your barrel, the amount that you can like mess it up is like so much more minuscule. Like you cannot mess up. But like on a cork, I have done some really bad corks. Some really bad corks. But guess what? Still landed.
Yep. Because you learn the wiggle room, because you don't need to know exactly the velocity, but it just automatically happens in your head. You're like, all right, I'm going just fast enough. Fantastic. Am I going straight? Yep, I'm going straight. All right. Take off. All right. Am I tight enough? Yep. Great. Wonderful. Land. Boom. Done. That's all you need to focus on. It's great.
Yeah, and also I want to share this. This is actually, I don't know if I've ever said this ever to like on any of my videos or anything, but this is super funny. I love this. So the amount of force that it takes to break the human femur is about 1 ton of force.
That's a lot of force.
That's a lot of force.
God.
But the femur is also the largest, but okay. And then I looked that up and I was like, that's a lot. And then I looked up how much force does Olympic level gymnasts create on their femurs, and I found out that it's 2 tons of force.
Oh yeah, it's insane. Like high level gymnastics and tumbling, like let me tell you, the amount of force you have to learn to deal with and make sure your body can keep up with. Oh god, you land wrong.
It has a lot to do with channeling that power and that energy and that momentum. And it also has a lot to do with literally just becoming stronger. Like your bones literally gain density and your muscles gain the ability to transfer the momentum that you're dealing with. And it's really sick. Like, I mean, I'm sure that I'll be able to do some. I've heard there are people who do gymnastics that can do skills very, very at a very high age. Like we had this one guy who was doing like double backs on trampoline at like 70 years old at our old gym.
Are you kidding me?
No, straight up. And Christy, my girlfriend, her grandpa was a gymnast, and he was beating her in handstand contests when she was in gymnastics also. So they were both really good at handstands, and he was holding it for like 10 minutes at a time or something like that. And he's 70 years old
That's
at the time.
obscene. Oh my God, that's obscene.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, have do you know anyone who's done anything like that?
Well, no, we tried to have an adult class back when I was at my old gym, and I know my mom did it when she was like then in her late 40s, early 50s, still doing like round off back handsprings. But I
Okay.
mean, still at that age, that surprises me. Like I would imagine that could just hurt really bad. Like I
I
hurt bad
mean,
already. I'm only 27.
that's what I was gonna say. I was like, well, well, you're old, so.
Hey, I may be bald, but I am not old.
Oh, okay.
Damn it. Yep,
I forgot how old you were. I always forget how old you are.
that's
It's not
fine.
like you're not old. I just like sometimes I think you're like, early 20s, and sometimes I think you're late 40s. I just don't know, man.
I mean, my kids do the same thing. I remember, oh my God, I remember the
You
little
don't
kids that I
I thought you
coached.
meant
They
your
were like,
kid, like
how old?
you don't have kids.
Yeah, the little kids that I coached, they were like, how old are you? I'm like, well, you can take a guess. They're like, 50. I'm like, how the hell did you get 50? I know
Kids
I
are
don't
so
look
bad at
bad.
it though.
Like, it
People
hurts so bad.
people tell me I'm 40. Like the kids I coach, I'm like, how old do you think I am? They're like 30, and I'm like, no, and they're like 40. I'm like, what do you mean older?
Why did you move up?
Like, your first guess was being nice. Is that what that is? Is that you being
God,
holding back, and now you're like, oh, he's not 30. I was just being nice. You're 40.
it's
What the
okay.
heck?
I had a
Okay.
guy, he sets up competition equipment for all of the meets in Minnesota, for most of them. He straight up said I was 35, and I was like, oh, that hurts my soul. I'm
Yeah.
not that much older. Oh my God, no,
Yeah,
please.
you're not old. I just need to see you tumbling again. That's it.
I know I need to go back to losing weight again, and I'm getting there. I'm at like 187. I've lost like 8 pounds, so I'm good.
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
getting
we
there.
got to get you on the insanity, and we got to get
No,
you
never again.
get on insanity and go vegan.
Nope.
That's what you got to do to
Maybe
lose.
vegan, but not insanity. Oh God,
Dude,
no.
actually give it a try.
We'll do that instead of tricking in gymnastics and in school. It'll just be doing insanity. That'll get you in shape real fast. Oh my
Oh my
God.
gosh, imagine if everybody did something like that and actually like cuz martial arts is one thing. That's like skills. But it's not necessarily like that's the one thing that it lacks from the tricking is like tricking gets you like potentially in shape. I mean, I know a lot of trickers who are not in shape, but they're also not good at tricks then, you know? So
Yeah.
it goes hand in hand. And so but then that would be something crazy. What if we had kindergartners doing insanity and all the way until they're, in high school? Like, oh my gosh, we could get
They'd be some
some
strong kids.
man,
Let me tell you.
that's what
Oh my
we
God.
got to do. That's what we got to do. No,
Trained soldiers.
it's not even about being soldiers, it's just about being
I
healthy.
know.
Like that stuff's not even that hard. Like it's not physically difficult. It's just like it is cardio hard. It is like muscular hard, but it's not a triple cork. That's
That's
all I'm
true.
trying to like. It's not like it's above your physical abilities. It's just like it's a workout. You know,
Yeah, I
workouts are
agree.
designed for everyone to be able to do, and there's always some level at like that you can participate.
Accomplish. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, you could we that's maybe that's gonna be my life goal.
So that's the things to take away. Instead of just higher certain types of higher education, higher level math, higher level English, and all that kind of fun, exciting things for certain people, just do tricking and gymnastics or martial arts or insanity. It's great.
Yeah, you got to learn. You learn mad discipline and everything we talked about. It teaches you so much more than I think school can teach you. And I don't think that you should quit school and do tricking instead. But I think you should
God, no.
add tricking to your regimen,
Yes.
and you're gonna kick ass at life.
Don't forget to follow our socials at ZidaneCloud on Instagram for me, Sean.
and CHRISPY_TRIX. That's Crispy Trix on Instagram. And I also have another YouTube channel, Trix Fix, TRIX space FIX, for more tutorials and other things.
And we'll see you guys next time.